With the release of the third and hopefully the last in the Five Nights at Freddy's series, I thought it'd be a good idea to take a look at the entire series and see if it's as good as people say it is. So, Five Nights at Freddy's is an indie horror game which took the internet by surprise and has gained a huge cult following and had a crap ton of Let's Players make videos on it. At first glance, this game seems like just the same old typical jump scare fests that YouTubers click and watch with nothing really else to offer. Well, it is kinda that to some extent, but there's a little more to it. Let's take a closer look. So the premise of this game is pretty simple. You're a security guard working for a children's restaurant named Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is a parody of a real-life kids restaurant which goes by the name of Chuck E. Cheese. And seeing as here in Europe we don't have Chuck E. Cheese, so anyone who lives outside the US and has no idea what Chuck E. Cheese is, this entire thing may seem a little weird to them. So this Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is a children's restaurant that contains animatronic characters who sing on stage to entertain the children during the day. However, at night they roam around the building and try and find anyone they can to stuff into an animatronic suit, which will kill them, presumably. So your job as a security guard is simple. You need to keep an eye on these animatronic characters on the security cameras and make sure they don't get into your office. And that's basically what you do in this game. You need to use the camera to know where each of the characters are, and use the two lights to check your doorways that are on each side of you to see if one of the animatronics is standing there in your doorway, and use the door to prevent them from entering your office. Now, this may all seem easy enough, however there is a catch to all this. If you do any of these things, like check your camera, close your doors, use your lights, it'll drain your power meter. Now you need to be extremely careful of what you use your power, cause if you run out of power, the whole place will go dark and you're basically dead. Now I'll be completely honest, the first time I played this game, it genuinely freaked me out. However, after around night 3, the game stops being scary and starts to become annoyingly frustrating, because on the later nights, the game can get extremely difficult. That is until you find out the super secret strategy to beating this game, which is basically check the lights, flip the camera up, check the show stage in Pirate Cove, and just repeat this over and over again until you win. Which, this is tedious as hell. You can beat the game without using this strategy, but be aware, you will die over and over again. And that's another thing that bugs me with this game, is when you die. Now I'll tell you, this game has a great atmosphere, and it does a good job at building up tension and fear. However, if you get caught, and trust me you will, you'll be greeted with a jump scare, which I think is the cheapest way to get a scare out of someone. It doesn't completely ruin the atmosphere, however it is something that did bother me. Overall, Five Nights at Freddy's is a little horror game that just so happened to explode in popularity. It's good for the first few nights, but it loses its touch really fast. If you somehow haven't gotten this game or played it by now, I just recommend getting the demo, which lets you play the first 2 nights. But if the demo doesn't really satisfy your need, then I'd say go for it. I mean, it's only a $5, and it's a pretty decent game overall. Now, just a few months after the first, the maker of Five Nights at Freddy's made a sequel. Will this be a huge improvement over the first, or will it be a rushed piece of shit? I'm pretty sure most of you already know the answer to this, so stay tuned for my next video, which will be looking at Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So yeah, see ya.